the Nebula X1, arguably one of the best projectors in the world. Why, you might ask? Well, it plays 4K at 60 FPS using a new technology called Laser Forged 2.0 engine, resulting in one of the most, if not the most accurate color reproductions ever, and also one of the highest brightness ever at 3500 NC lumens. A massive 40-watt speaker and liquid-cooled internals. I waited for an entire year to get my hands on one because it was released at an eye-watering $3,000 US. And I didn't really feel like spending the equivalent of a down payment for a used car on a new toy. So, when I saw a listing of used like new on Amazon, I pulled the trigger and I got myself one. Unfortunately, I got less than what I bargained for in the form of a couple of surprises, and you can actually see one of them if you look closely. So, if you're really interested in buying this projector, buckle up and let me show you what I'm talking about. The unit I purchased is without the optional speakers that will cost an additional $500 if bought as a bundle. The first thing I noticed is that it's really heavy, a lot heavier than any other piece of equipment other than probably an anvil. Luckily, Anker thought about it and included a sleek pull-up handle that reveals itself with a push. The build quality is top-notch. Soft plastic that does a great job at repelling fingerprints. You got some additional sensors that not only helps with the usual autofocus or scans the room for a good projecting angle, but can also do stuff like detect a person passing by and turning off the laser to prevent eye damage. Neat. The projector lens sits on a gimbal that can move up or tilt up to 25 degrees, but it can't move down or side to side. I'll talk a bit more about it towards the end of this video. The projector also supports optical zoom of up to 1.67x, which helps in projecting large screens from a short or long distance. On the back, you have all the ports you could ask for. The only thing missing, in my opinion, is an Ethernet port, although you still can use an Ethernet port through a USB-C adapter. The first surprise that I got is that the unit came without a remote. Now, from experience, I know that this was not going to stop me from at least testing it, as you can easily connect a mouse and a keyboard combo, and you're good to go. But of course, from watching tons of YouTube videos, I knew that I can also connect it to an app and control it using my smartphone. So that's exactly what I did, and I was in. Turning it for the first time, the projector will scan the area it's projecting on and will, in most cases, accurately readjust itself for the best viewing experience. If it doesn't happen, just hop into the settings from the top right corner and adjust it manually. The second surprise I got was that it's still logged in to someone else's account. So I had access to Michael's Netflix and Apple TV accounts. I actually had intended to reset it to factory settings, but I got carried away and I just kept using whatever accounts were logged in at the time. I hope Michael realizes his mistake and does not think that the government is spying on his Netflix watch history. Anywho, let's leave that behind and talk about what it's like to use this premium projector. As you would expect, it's the best projector that I have tried. The brightness is so high that it practically lights up the room, and it does it without compromising the image quality. The colors pop, and even in difficult scenes such as night scenes or retro films, you can still see the details. Of course, not as good as an OLED TV, for example, but it's as close as it can ever get on a projector. Once you start watching a movie, you start seeing details and characters you have never paid attention to before. Almost like being in a cinema, but better since you're in the comfort of your own home. The camera doesn't do the image its justice. You have to see it in person to appreciate how good it is. The Nebula X1 is capable of projecting a huge 300-inch screen. Just so you understand how big this number is, most of the footage you're looking at is at 125 inches, which is about a foot wider than my king-size bed. Although this is a true 4K image, the image itself is so big, you can actually see the tiny pixels if you look closely. The software is based on Google TV. It's nice and easy and also works smooth. Although I would have preferred an Android experience instead. I found that the Google TV does not seem to know how to handle mouse clicks. The X1 comes with a 32 GB internal storage and only 2 GB of RAM. I heard a few complaints about the RAM size being too small, and I do agree, but I did not experience any issues with the software due to the small RAM size. The way I normally use projectors is generally somewhere behind my head so that I can forget that it's there and just enjoy the movie. And although it's so close to my head, this thing is almost whisper quiet. If you mute the speakers and close your eyes, you will have a tough time figuring out whether it's on or off. Whatever they did with the liquid cooling thing turned out to work really well. Speaking of speakers, they are fantastic. Although the sound emits from a singular point, meaning the stereo speakers are close to each other, it's loud and clear. And it feels like you're using a sound bar or a surround sound. And if you plan to use it for a movie night with a large group, you will have absolutely no problem. It almost feels like one of those large Bluetooth speakers that you can take with you to house parties. So, is it perfect or are there any drawbacks? Sadly, and despite the hefty price tag, there are some, and they can be a deal breaker. In fact, it was a deal breaker for me, and by the time you see this video, this projector will probably be sitting back on an Amazon return shelf. And no, I'm not talking about the missing remote. So why am I returning it? The main reason, and you would be surprised to hear this, because not a single person that reviewed this device before ever mentioned it. It's the angle of projection. In simple terms, this machine is designed to project from a low point, something like a nightstand or a coffee table height, which is odd considering that most projectors are designed to hang from the ceiling of a room. What's the result? Well, if you're like me and intend to use it in your bedroom, you will end up with a neck pain and possibly some headache from having to constantly look up at an unnatural angle. The gimbal, which at first glance looks revolutionary, unfortunately cannot move down. It's either straight ahead or upward, and in my setup the image ends up at a higher level than I would like it to. Very strange decision to limit the mechanical movement since they already have all the moving parts built in. And remember in the beginning when I said look closely to spot an issue? Well, it's here. That's right, a dead pixel. Just like in your phone, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So yeah. Now I don't think it's a big deal because Anker offers some of the best customer support that I have seen, and also because it will anyways be covered by the warranty, and you can easily replace it since the X lineup has up to 24 months of warranty period from the date of purchase. But I think it's worth mentioning since if it happened during manufacturing, it can happen later down the line. If the gimbal could have been adjusted, I can see myself keeping it as nothing rivals the quality of the image and the sound from Anker. If the projection angle is not an issue to you, and if you're looking for a projector with some impressive image quality, a large screen and a capable speaker, you really can't go wrong with the X1. As usual, you'll find the links for the products in the description if you wish to support me and my work at no additional cost to yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.